In the heart of Damascus during the 13th century, a brilliant mind was born, one that would change the course of medical history forever. His name was Abu al-Hasan Ali ibn Abi al-Hazm al-Qarshi al-Dimashqi al-Misri, known to the world as Ibn al-Nafis. He was a physician, a jurist, a teacher, and above all, a revolutionary thinker whose discovery of blood circulation in the lungs would later shape the foundation of modern medicine. Today, we explore his life, works, and legacy. The story of a man who challenged old traditions, corrected great scholars, and left behind an intellectual treasure that continues to inspire generations. Ibn al-Nafis was born in 607 AH, 1210 CE, in Damascus, one of the great cultural centers of the Islamic Golden Age. From a young age, he showed remarkable intelligence and curiosity. He studied medicine at the Al-Nuri Medical College and Hospital, founded by the great ruler Nur al-Din Zangi. Here, under the guidance of al-Muhaddab al-Din Abd al-Rahim, he mastered the science of healing. But Ibn al-Nafis was not only a physician, he also studied Islamic jurisprudence, theology, and literature, becoming a recognized scholar of the Shafi'i school of law. This combination of medicine and law made him a unique intellectual giant of his time. After completing his education, Ibn al-Nafis moved to Cairo, the thriving capital of Egypt. His brilliance soon earned him the position of chief physician at the Nasri hospital. There he trained numerous students, including the famous surgeon Ibn al-Kuf al-Masihi. Later, he also worked at the Mansouriya hospital, where he continued to teach, research, and practice medicine. His influence was so great that when he passed away in 678 AH, 1288 CE, he donated his house, library, and clinic to the Mansouriya hospital, leaving behind a legacy of knowledge for future generations. Perhaps Ibn al-Nafis's most groundbreaking contribution was his discovery of pulmonary blood circulation, a finding that corrected centuries of medical misunderstanding. Earlier, the Greek physician Galen believed that blood passed directly between the two sides of the heart through invisible pores in the septum, but Ibn al-Nafis rejected this idea. Through careful observation and reasoning, he proposed a bold theory. Blood flows from the right ventricle of the heart to the lungs. In the lungs, it mixes with air. Then, purified blood returns to the left ventricle of the heart, ready to nourish the body. This description of pulmonary circulation was 3 centuries ahead of its time, rediscovered in Europe much later by scientists like William Harvey. Ibn al-Nafis was not only a pioneer of circulation, but also a prolific writer and thinker. His works covered nearly every field of medicine. Al-Shamil fi al-Tibb, an enormous medical encyclopedia planned in 300 volumes. Though he could not complete it, the surviving parts remain invaluable. Mujaz al-Qanun, a summary of Ibn Sina's canon of medicine, widely read and commented upon. Kitab al-Mukhtar fi al-Aghdhiya, a unique book on nutrition and the effect of diet on health. Commentaries on Hippocrates, Ibn Sina, and Hunayn ibn Ishaq, where he critically analyzed earlier theories and added his own observations. Original writings on ophthalmology, surgery, and anatomy, many of which survive today. One of his most important approaches was testing medical treatments first on animals before applying them to humans, a method resembling modern clinical trials. Ibn al-Nafis was not just a physician. He was also a philosopher and theologian. He believed in harmonizing science and religion, and his writings reflect a deep commitment to rational inquiry alongside spiritual values. In medicine, his insistence on direct observation and critical thinking marked a clear departure from blindly following the Greeks. He dared to challenge Galen and Ibn Sina when evidence suggested otherwise, something very rare in his time. His works influenced scholars in the East and West, though many of his writings reached Europe much later. Still, his name stands proudly in the history of science as the man who first described the true nature of blood circulation. In 1288 CE, Ibn al-Nafis passed away in Cairo at the age of 78. His final act of donating his personal wealth, library, and home to a hospital speaks volumes about his dedication to knowledge and healing. Today, Ibn al-Nafis is remembered as the discoverer of pulmonary circulation, a pioneer of experimental medicine, a teacher of physicians and surgeons, a scholar who bridged the worlds of science, philosophy, and law. His contributions laid the groundwork for future discoveries and remain a shining example of the Islamic Golden Age's intellectual brilliance. Ibn al-Nafis was more than just a physician. He was a visionary who proved that progress comes through observation, reason, and the courage to challenge old traditions. Centuries later, as we study the human body with advanced technology, we cannot forget the man who, with nothing but his mind and his pen, described truths that modern science would only confirm hundreds of years later. Ibn al-Nafis's story is not just history. It is a timeless reminder that knowledge has no boundaries, and discovery belongs to the brave.